You just call me a dildo face. That's what friends are for. Yeah, it is. Hey boss, be honest with me here. About what? Who's Gil exactly? What do you mean? You know what I mean. Who the fuck is he? Oh yeah, that. Well, I have a couple of ideas. I know for certain that Gil was in the Hong Kong riots, and he took part in the anti-riot force before defecting. That should give me a clue as to who he is, but... So far I've only found out about one such defector, and he didn't leave Hong Kong for at least 4 years. I also know for certain that Gil was in England and France during that time frame, and it's always like that. When I think I have a clue as to who he is, something else comes up that contradicts the evidence. The guy's troublesome. A bit, yeah. I wonder if Gil's alright. You worry about him? You make it sound like I'm some emotionless robot. You can be hard to read. Especially as I don't get to see her face. That's the weird thing about this, playing a character. Oh, new beer! Drink. You can be hard to read. I wouldn't worry about Gil so much though. There's 3 things I know for certain about him. First, he can take care of himself. Second, you can sincerely trust him. Really? And the third? He absolutely hates bell pepper. Really? I've seen him even reject food that's been in contact with it. Man, what a baby, unless he's allergic or something? He's not. What a baby. How did you meet such a guy? He showed up in a door of the bar. What? Well, it was shortly after the whole incident with Robert and the levitation. Oh my god. I hate it when games and things do this. They're like, oh, all that crazy other stuff that happened that you're not going to see, and we're not going to tell you exactly what happened, but it was a hilarious time. That's always really annoying. I don't know. Right. Oh, no. Wait, have we already been told about that? I think we might have been told about that. Whatever. It was a slow day and he just showed up at the bar. I offered him a drink, but he said he didn't have any money on him. I couldn't leave him alone, so I pretty much gave the drinks for free. And after a couple, he broke down crying. Wow. I don't know what he did, but he was really, really regretting it. He wanted a second chance or whatever, and I told him if he could wash himself, I'd find him a job. And I'll be damned, he looked totally different the next day. Damn! I tried and failed to find out anything about him, so I decided to take him at face value. I'd judge him from what he did as an employee. We're learning a lot about Dana. I like Dana. Dana is friends. Dana is good people. And aside from the occasional sudden escapades, he's been as loyal gets. I return the favour in kind, covering his ass from time to time, sometimes literally. What surprises me is that you took him in so easily. What surprises me is that you've seen his ass. I can't take care of it myself, and I always keep an eye on him. And besides, after the whole Robert thing, I couldn't ignore someone that desperate so easily. I see. You made the bar more lively yourself, you know. How so? Well, with the regulars you've earned, of course, like the blonde titty hacker. I can't remember her name. Alma. I was going to say Armitage. She's a nice girl, you know. I don't think she's young enough to be called a girl. Says the girl who's eternally 17. In any case, she's really lovely. She's got lovely jubblies. Sorry. When you hear her speak of family, she speaks with such love. Her face just brightens up. It makes me kind of jealous that she had such a close relationship with them, to be honest. You have bad relationships with your family? Not bad. I'm not exactly close to anyone outside of my mum, dad, and aunt. But back to Alma, I'm really hoping she finds a nice guy to settle with. I mean, she's so bent into finding one, I can't help but want her to succeed. Ah, I see. No, Dana, don't go looking elsewhere. Hello, right in front of you, sexy times, right here. There's also that sex worker robot girl. Dorothy. She intrigues me, though. I've seen a lot of sex workers over the years, and she seems pretty giddy. Not that she likes her job, but rather she takes to it with such childish excitement. I kind of noticed that too, but then again, Lilim could be weird. You think? Lilim operate in some really foreign logic. I mean, they don't really share our fear of mortality. Even if their bodies are destroyed, their minds are already backed up in the collective source. If they lose an arm, they can reattach it, replace it. That would be so useful. I cannot wait for that kind of thing to happen. Like, for people lost arms, they just get robot arms. So cool. And like, it's definitely on it. In my lifetime, that will be a possibility. I'm certain of it. Unless, like, society breaks down. In that case, you've got worse things to worry about than losing an arm, probably. If they lose an arm, they can reattach or replace it, depending on the serpent starters. They might not even feel pain at all, because there are snakes everywhere. It's not like they haven't attained human-like emotions like fear or love, but they're different. Like a different culture, if you must. I didn't see it that way. Aside from that, Dorothy is a DFC-72. It's a social interactions model or something. Lilim get positive reinforcement straight from their bodies if they're fulfilling their main purpose. So, I'm guessing she gets a built-in push when she's in a meaningful or challenging social interaction. I wish I had that. I seriously want that. Just because, like, things get difficult. No, I can't deal with it. I'm guessing she gets a built-in push. Interesting. The name Lilim is a bit weird though. It is? You'd expect them to be called bots or dolls, but Lilim doesn't convey the images of automatons. Just a tip, bots and dolls are considered slurs by them. Oh shit. Bots is akin to calling them retarded, and dolls is like calling them fake. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, serious stuff then. Thanks for the advice. That aside, do you know why they're called Lilim? As far as I know, it's because it comes from a bigger AI called Lilith. I know Lilith from something. That's probably from Final Fantasy. It sounds like it's from Final Fantasy. And Lilim are Lilith's offspring in Jewish folklore. Final Fantasy borrows quite heavily from Jewish folklore, so they're probably, right? Ooh, cool. Hey, speaking of names, why don't you like being called by your full name? I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't act stupid. Like when you first transferred, I called you Julianne, and you almost tore me a new one with your glare. See? Like that. Drinking intensifies. It's no big secret, but it's one of those things you feel silly when you say out loud. Try me. Well, did you ever watch Model Warrior Julianne? Not all of it, but little sister's a big fan of the reruns. Back when I was in elementary school, I was a huge fan of the show. I had everything from the dolls to the costumes to the lunchboxes. Didn't help that there was one of these shows that got strapped... What? Those shows that got strapped literally everywhere. Okay, I don't know what that means. I saw a couple of episodes once. They were really nice. It was beyond nice. The show's about a model who can transform into an armor-clad magic knight. That sounds cool. I need to put my hand back on the mouse, otherwise I can't play video games. She fights demons born from greed and vanity. How the show presents Jules hating her job because it invited enemies, and yet still found solace in trying to be a role model. Hell, the main character wasn't a kid. Julianne was an adult, became younger when transformed. I'd say it was pretty ambitious kid show. Even by today's standard, that does sound pretty ambitious. Like, there aren't that many shows. Steven Universe though, like that. That's cool. That's a really awesome show. I haven't seen any of the new episodes. I've watched like to the end of series 2, maybe? I don't know. Probably. Challenging as fuck. Oh, you got excited there. And that is the problem. Back then, I was obsessed with Jules. I sang the songs just like her. I couldn't even recite full chapters. Something tells me you still can. That's beside the point. It was nice when I was in an elementary school, but then I went to middle school, and what a surprise, tweens are jackasses. They went out of their way to tease me about the things I did back then. I don't hold it against Jules. I always hold my grudge against those fuck jobs. Sounds rough. You know how most girls worry about their thighs at that age? I worried about jackasses singing the theme tune and that show mocking me. You know what? I never had that kind of bullying. I was bullied. Not much, because it was kind of posh. Not like a posh private school kind of thing, but just like a normal public school. And like everyone there was middle class. So no one was very good at bullying. So I didn't really care. However, oh shit, there was a story I was going to tell, but I can't actually remember which one it was. I got carried away there. Anyway, I'll remember it later. Anyways, every time someone called me Julian or Jules, I instinctively react negatively. Pavlov would be proud of me. Woof woof. I never talked about it because I find the whole thing too silly in retrospect, and yet it affects you even today. That's nothing wrong with that though. Drinks heavily. I remember it like it was yesterday. I sure hope so. Come to think of it, what kind of kid were you, boss? When I was a toddler, I was the kind of always fight with kids bigger than me. Then puberty happened and I became the Merriam-Webster definition of shallow jerkwad. Hey! We were very, very similar people. Around that time I turned 16, I realised what an idiot I was and went on to become who I am today. It didn't happen to me until I was like 20, or like 19, 20. Yeah. And the less I talked about that, the years from 12 to 15, the better. Fair enough. So Jill, what kind of guy was your grandpa? He was rough around the edges, the kind of guy that means, well, even if he says otherwise. He seems to have a soft spot for me though. One moment he was congratulating my dad by berating him a little, and the next he was playing with me. My dad worked a lot, and my mum was always travelling, so I spent most of my childhood with him. Can I ask how he died? Of old age. My dad says he burped himself to death. My dad, which is about to happen to Josh. End of Gaming FTL. Last episode ever. My dad says his last words were something like, "Fucking scientists created talking medicine that aren't let you upload your brain." Why the question? I'm curious about you. Really curious. Oh yes. Do we get to go to sex? Bumping uglies. I just realised that even though we see each other almost every day, I know very little about you. From what you tell you though, it seems your grandpa's personality rubbed off on you a bit. I've heard that once since I was a kid actually. You know boss, I'm a bit curious about your circle of friends. What kind of people do you have in it? Keep in mind, you're included in this circle too, so any insults you hurl will apply right back to you. Anyway, I have this friend I've known for a long time, a red-headed glasses-wearing gun nut, I thought that would say something else, called Iris. The one you called for the helmet thing? That one! She's managing a BTC bar in Panama right now, if I remember correctly. She's managing a bar too. I got the idea from her, actually. Oh, it's called N1RV Anna. Nirvana! I get it! They're all like... That's from Buddhism. Valhalla is... Nirvana is the like heaven from Buddhism, I think. Valhalla is the kind of heaven-ish for warriors from Norse mythology. There's probably others as well. You should see the people she has to deal with there. Piracy ain't nothing to fuck with. Piracy ain't nothing to fuck with. And means it's an annex to another business. What else does she do there? I think the bar was originally her hotel's bar. She moved the bar to its own building elsewhere and opened... Nerve Van Anb. That's not as good. Weird decision. I believe she said she wanted a place away from the noisy rich tourists that go to the hotel. So that bar is her woman cave. Yeah, Jill! Woo! Dirty minds. That aside, let's see. Friends. I guess there's also my little sister, but that's given. There's also my old partner from when I was in the Neo San Francisco police force. Good old Lexi. Should give her a call sometime. Wait, you were in the what? I've done lots of things, Jill. I spent a short time collaborating with the police force. I've been a wrestler, an MMA fighter, chimney cleaner, lumberjack, pet shop attendant, corporate mascot. Corporate what? I still see my face on some websites from time to time. Really? How do you work that? Do you just... What? Okay, sure, why not? So aside from you, Gil, Sis, Iris and Lexi, I guess there's a lot of people that don't want to see me in harm's way, mostly because they're ones who want to hurt me. What about you? I guess I have acquaintances here and there, back at home, college, I went out a lot, but it felt like more going in its pleasure rather than people involved. Aside from you and Gil, my closest friend since moving here is Alma. Oh, and Dorothy. I mean, sure, there's always 4, but that cat's a hermit that refuses to go out. And you know, he's a cat. Hey, a cat's fine too, you know? Hey boss, what will you do when the bar closes? I don't know. Maybe I'll take a friend's offer of working with her. I was also thinking about going back home and helping with things there. Or maybe drink. Or maybe going traveling for a while. I see. Oh, but don't worry, bureaucracy's slow as fuck, so they won't close the bar for quite a while. Better enjoy being there while you can. Yeah, maybe. Will you be visiting me in whatever bar I end up working in? I have a bone to pick with the guy that supervises the bar I'm planning to get you transferred to. I go there even though I have virtually no reason to. With you there, I'd have something pleasant to look forward to. Yay! You're sending me to someone you have problems with? If I had to trust another bar owner, it's certainly him. He's actually a pleasant boss from what I've seen. The fact that he and I have a tendency to go at each other's throats is an unrelated matter. Okay! I'll trust you on that one then. I'm not interjecting much, just because it's really nice. It's not like the most interesting conversation in the world, but it's just a really nice thing to learn about these people. I don't know. Do you like the way the storytelling's going? Because I do. Oh, yeah, well, I guess otherwise you wouldn't fucking be here, right? Maybe I can get you a bracelet made of wood pieces from the bar's counter or something. We'll see. Hey, I'll tell you what. When the bar closes, let's both take a vacation. Go on a trip. That'll clear your mind a bit. Yeah, maybe. What? No, that's exactly what we should be doing. Get her in a car, take her someplace sexy and remote and romantic. That would be good. Ooh, pretty stars. Oh no, snow! This is the middle of the city, you can't see the stars. Cute. So that's Glitch City. Ooh, chapter 2. Amarga. That means bitter? Holy shit. We have so much game left. If like the chapter 2 and chapter 3, I know there are 3 chapters, are as long as chapter 1, we have so much of this game to go on with. So, wow. I might not be perfectly consistent with this series, but as long as you're enjoying it, I'll keep uploading it. So thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed, then subscribe. If you're not, I don't imagine there are many people who haven't seen the rest of it, the rest of this series up until now. But if you're new, cheers! This game is awesome. Watch it from the beginning. Otherwise, I have a Patreon where you can help me out if you want to support me as I make videos. But until next time, $8,000! Ah, shit, mustache.